I'd like to call to order the regular monthly meeting of Board of Trustees, Joliet Junior College, District 525. Joan, call the roll, please.
Broderick. Garcia-Guillen.
Present.
Mahalik.
Present.
Marin.
Present.
Morales.
Here.
O'Connell.
Here.
And Wonderlich.
Here. I'd like to welcome everybody who came out tonight. It looks like we've got a full house here. At this time, Mr. Gallick, would you lead us in a pledge of allegiance?
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now I'll make the motion.
Okay. Need a motion to,
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, there was a request from Trustee Broderick to participate electronically, and so since there's a quorum of the board, we need a motion and a second to allow her to participate, and then we'll call her on the phone, per the board policy.
motion.
Second.
motion is second. Joan, call the roll, please.
Mahalik.
Yes.
Marin.
Yes.
Morales.
Yes.
O'Connell.
Yes.
Broderick. Garcia-Guillen.
Yes.
And Wonderlich.
Yes.
Hello.
Hi, Maureen.
Hello.
Maureen, can you identify yourself for the record?
Maureen Broderick.
Thank you. We're on item 1.05.
Ms. Tierney, do we have
Correct.
public comments? Do we have any public comments this evening?
Yes, we do, Mr. Chairman. We currently have 5 requests to speak before the Board of Trustees.
Attorney Buck, would you please review the rules and according to public comments?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, under Board Policy 1.55.01, those wishing to speak a public comment should have filled out a board address request form, which we have 5 of here tonight. Each speaker is limited to 5 minutes in their speaking, and the topics are limited to 20 minutes in total. So there's 20 minutes total for speaking on a particular topic, and you, Mr. Chairman, have the discretion to terminate a public speaker if they are disruptive, irrelevant, or repetitious. Thank you.
Joan, could I get the comments?
Mr. Chairman, the first person we can call to the podium is David Lozano. And his reason is Latino student concerns for addressing the Board of Trustees.
Okay. Good evening.
Good evening, trustees.
Good evening. Good evening.
My name is David Lozano. I am the Vice President of Latinos Unidos. I'm speaking on behalf of the Latino students here at Joliet Junior College. This evening, I would like to address the issue regarding Chief Pete Commanda. Joliet Junior College has always been known as an institution of diversity where students can safely thrive to achieve their educational goals. I myself have met so many people, new people with different backgrounds that I had never even encountered outside of JJC. Joliet Junior College is also very keen on showcasing this diversity within its advertisements because everyone knows that's the reality of the college. By allowing Chief Commanda to walk around campus when we are aware of his racial commentaries, tarnishes this notion that diversity is encouraged and kept safe here at JJC. How can minority students feel secure or that they will be treated fairly by the Joliet Junior College Police Department if the man in charge of the department holds racial biases? You must truly put your student safety as your number one priority, because clearly that does not seem to be the case. Students should feel safe when coming to school and not have to worry about situations such as these. I would like to ask the Board of Trustees to truly consider how their decision in regards to keeping Chief Commanda affects the reputation of this institution and how students and staff are affected by his mere presence on campus. To conclude, I would like to read the mission statement for the Joliet Junior College Campus Police Department. The mission of the Joliet Junior College Police Department is to provide a safe learning, teaching, and working environment within the philosophy and ideals of the campus. Community-oriented policing. Based on this philosophy, the JJC-PD requires its personnel to exercise the highest degree of discretion, human relations, and community problem-solving skills. And I'd like to end with, El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. Thank you for your time.
Our next comment.
The next person, Will Vanderhoff, who would like to address the board in regards to LGBT and concerns from the LGBT club, GLAM, relating to current campus enrichment and police chief command.
Environment. I'm very sorry for my handwriting.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. As the lady said, my name is Will, and I'm here on behalf of GLAM and the students involved with our LGBT club. So I wanted to speak to you once again about the issue involving Chief Commanda. I want to tell you that LGBT people live in fear on the regular. We every day go through our lives wondering if something will happen to us because we are who we are. And I can't say that it's exactly the same as people who are discriminated against because of their skin color or their race, but when we are openly and proudly ourselves, we face danger and discrimination like them. And so, hearing about racially charged statements from the police chief has me extraordinarily concerned for my club members, the people I know, and the ones I love who attend this school, because we thought we were safe here. When I used to describe this place, I do believe it was Dr. Farmer, there was a time when someone came to student government and went around the room and asked us to describe one word about Joliet Junior College, and I picked the word safe. Was I wrong to pick that word? Were we wrong to assume we were safe here? Were we wrong to think that this was a good place for us? We ask for your transparency and for your advice. We want to do the right thing overall. We don't want to ruin a man's life over false accusations or charges, but we want something done if it's true that he said these racial comments, if it's confirmed that he's responsible for this. We can't sit back as students and let this go if it's true. So you as the board members, I know that it would be difficult and there's legal red tape you would have to go through and cut, but we need the truth from you overall. I need to know that my friends and my club members are safe here. I need to be able to tell students from my old high school that yes, if you are an LGBT person, this is a safe place for you to come. No one will discriminate against you here. That this place is lovely, like I thought it was. So I ask you to be transparent with us about the chief, because I need to be able to tell people definitively whether or not they are safe here. Because there are many people like me who have never known safety anywhere else, who come here and this is the first inclusive environment they have ever been in. And to think that I was wrong to assume I was safe here is extraordinarily upsetting. To think that I was wrong in recommending my best friend to come here from across the country because I love this place and this school, that is upsetting. So thank you for listening to me. And I say once more that we are all concerned for our safety. We want to be safe here, and right now, we don't feel that. when we go to our GLAM meetings, we talk about the chief and we hope that the Herald News was not being truthful. We hope that the anonymous letter that they got was not truthful. We hope it was a lie, but we don't know for sure. We can't say definitively whether or not it was with the evidence we have right now. And that's really awful. Thank you very much for listening to me. Have a pleasant night.
Speaker, Ms. Tierney.
The next person would be Anfal. I'm sorry, Anfal. I'm not. How do you pronounce your last name?
Abdel Jabber.
Abdel Jabber. And she would like to address the board with concerns for the Muslim community.
Hello, my name is Anfal Abdel Jabber. I'm the Vice President of Muslims in America, and I'm here today to speak on an issue that has been weighing on the hearts of many of the students here at JJC. I want to start by saying, as members of the Board of Trustees, it is your job to make sure that students here feel heard and acknowledged, and by letting a man like Commanda walk the halls of JJC after everything he's done, you have failed us. As a Muslim woman, I now feel unsafe at my own campus because a racist man is walking around with a gun. Muslims in America cannot stand by and watch as men like that spew such hate. Sorry.
You got this.
College is supposed to be a place of education, not ignorance. A place for young minds to expand, and most importantly, it's a place where we come to find ourselves. But that's not what we're concerned with right now, and it should be what we are concerned about. What we're concerned about right now is our safety. I urge you to open your eyes, wake up for 1 second, just think about the students here that you swore an oath to, and hear us out. I demand that you make the right decision. We cannot let people get away with racist comments anymore. The reason racism still exists today is because things like this are often overlooked. And when you get the chance to decrease racism, you should always take that chance. Now is your chance. Be the change. Because it's definitely not okay, and we will not stand for it. So I have a few words, poetry that I prepared. It's from a poem I wrote called "Do You Feel Guilty?" Some people are scared of different, but what they don't realize is that that is what makes us so brilliant. No matter who you are or how you look, if you're black, brown, white, or simply wearing a piece of cloth around your head, it was once said, "Don't judge a book by its cover." Thank you.
Yeah. Next speaker, Ms. Tierney.
The next speaker is Shanna Triplett. And Shanna is asking to address the board this evening on Black student concerns.
Hi, hi, my name is Shanna. Wait, is the microphone on? I feel like it's not on. Is it on? Hi, once again, my name is Shannon Triplett, and I'm going to be speaking for BSLA, which stands for Black Student Leadership Association. I am the secretary of BSLA. I am here to inform you of our stance. I'm here to inform you on our stance on the case involving P. Commanda. We all worked through many obstacles to earn a college education. The last thing we want to feel is unsafe, unheard, unappreciated on campus. For many of us, making it to college is a huge milestone. It is our foundation for better opportunities, and it enables us to make a positive impact on our community. With this being taken into consideration, the stakes are extremely high for us. It's important for us to stay focused and maintain grit while struggling to withstand the effects of institutional racism. We are under constant, okay, this is good. Okay. We are under constant scrutiny. So earning an education is one of the ways for us to escape the stereotypes placed on us by society. This campus should be a safe haven that will respect, protect, and nurture the success of all students. But there are many students that feel unsafe on campus due to the lack of disciplinary action in the situation. Multiple individuals have confirmed that Commander had made a statement about lynching a black officer. Yet he is still able to scroll the hallways amongst those he has targeted. After returning from a nice vacation and paid leave. According to the chairman of the JJC Board of Trustees, Bob Wunderlich, this situation is water on the bridge. It is clear to us that the safety of students is not the top priority of this institution. So far, our efforts have simply been tolerated. Even now, we're being restricted by a time frame to express ourselves, while there are students on this campus that have fear in their hearts, feeling as if they have been failed once again. We are not here to ask for empathy on this situation, which was taken lightly long before we came to this meeting. Empathy is clearly not here. As students, we are here to demand change. Thank you.
And our final speaker is Sebastian Gonzalez.
Good evening.
Good evening.
As president of student government, I help lead the voice of students, and they are concerned, upset, furious with Commando. They will protest, spread the issue at hand, and most importantly, fight for their rights. The publicity will make JJC one of the country's best colleges look detrimental. Enrollment is already down. Can JJC really take a publicity stunt like this? I recall hearing from some of the administrators that they want to work with students. Now is the chance to make a difference. By allowing Commander to stay at JJC, are we endangering our future students? If Commander has the courage to say something as repulsive as he did, he will likely do it again. I have a younger sister that plans to start her college career at JJC. I feel concerned for her safety and the safety of the students under Commander. Commander did great things as chief. Yes, I've heard he did great things as chief. But that doesn't excuse his behavior. If he is capable of saying shocking statements, how do we know that Commander's intentions are to serve and protect, and not serve and protect who he seems to serving? I ask you, not only as a leader, but as a member of the community, please rethink your decision of Commander's involvement with the country's best community college. I have brought with me today the petition that we passed to the students requesting for transparency with the administration, student inclusiveness with the hiring process of new board members, and ultimately the resignation for both Commander and Chairman Wunderlich. I say these things because transparency, I didn't find out about this until President Mitchell sent an email to every student and the Herald's News published. And the inclusiveness for hiring a new board member, because since we are the students, we should have the option to choose who is going to be here for us. I don't have to explain why I want Commander to resign, but Chairman Wunderlich, you have served JJC long enough. You have served as trustee for well over 43 years. JJC needs someone that's constantly moving forward in society. You can't teach an old dog new tricks, and your water under the bridge comment definitely proves it. That's why I ask you and Commander, as President of Student Government and on behalf of the Student Voice, to resign. If you are not here for us, you are against us. I got the petition right here. At least 150 signatures in one day. That was just one day. And I also want to say, if you won't resign, I understand you're up for re-election soon. So I would tread lightly and wisely. Same thing is said to Trustee Broderick and anybody else who's up for re-election soon. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. Again, everybody. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. Thank you.
Any other public comments, Mr.?
No further public comments, Mr. Chairman.
As always, to the people that spoke tonight, this board takes every comment very seriously. And thank you for your comments.
Chairman Wunderlich,
Yes,
could I be allowed to make a statement, please?
if it's not, we don't, these were comments, this is not a debate.
I understand. It's not a debate.
Go ahead.
Thank you. So personally, I want to thank all of the students for your courage for coming here today to do something about ensuring that you have a safe environment and respectable and thriving learning experience here at JJC so that you are able to contribute as citizens to the well-being of all in the near future. Talking about racism and bullying is very difficult. Many organizations do not discuss this until they are faced with an incident like this. In the aftermath of a racist incident, some organizations are not well prepared to navigate the issues arising with the appropriate level of care. I don't want this overt incident to be seen as an isolated occurrence, but more so an indication of the more systemic problem that we are facing as a country. These situations may lead those who have experienced racism to feel unsupported, at risk, and more incidents happening in the future, which will continue to make staff and students feel divided, isolated, and unsafe. This is not a healthy or productive environment for anybody. Unfortunately, whether overt or subtle, racism and bullying still occurs in our communities, and while many reject racism in its all forms, there are still pockets of racism and discrimination. We all have to be a voice for the silent ones whose rights are affected by decisions made by governments, businesses, and employers on a day-to-day basis. We need to learn how to be a society that is all-inclusive and not racist. Our readiness to acknowledge and address racism, just like any other injustice, shows that we're setting our sights on greater possibilities. It is recognized that discrimination costs us financially and culturally, and when parts of our community are locked out, we all lose. The spectrum of people here today demonstrates that if we are not ready to talk about racism, we need to get ready really quickly now more than ever, and to do so in a way that builds a safer future as well as a respectable educational and working environment for everyone. Everyone in this room has a personal obligation in itself to not only increase awareness, but call racism and bullying out as you see it. Being a bystander to racism and bullying is also just as important. Everyone has an obligation to say, no, that's not acceptable, and this is why. Racism and bullying have severe health and economic consequences for its targets and is damaging to our social cohesion. Racism is a curb on our potential and our full humanity. It holds us back, it slows us down, and it stops us from bringing the best talent to the table. Let's not dodge this opportunity. Let's use our talents to not only call racism and bullying out when we see it, but to envision a college and a nation that's beyond it. As a government-funded public community college, we are committed to combating racism and bullying at all levels. We need to develop a firm and sustainable strategy with a broad scope to complement these measures and continue to encourage the community at a grassroots level, like the students have done so here today, to challenge racism and end discrimination whenever it occurs. Many employers, like JJC, are striving to be the employer and the first school of choice. And cultural diversity and inclusion of our students, our staff, our faculty, including our tenure faculty, is an extremely important element in achieving this status. So in closing, I would like to recommend that when this meeting is adjourned, that the board go into executive session and revisit how this situation was handled and how we, as a full voting board, participate with the president on how we are going to move forward to heal and repair these damages. Thank you.
Next item of business is 1.1.1.
To call Dr. Fletcher to the podium.
Good evening, Board of Trustees. From the January board retreat, I offered up a presentation on course fees for the new academic year. As presented in the board booklet, you'll see those fees have been lodged. I'll make note that there are new fees and increases to fees within our CNA program as well as in our nursing program. And new courses will also be listed in the board packet, as they will be assigned those fees that are in line with those course prefixes. So I can entertain any questions if there's any specifics you'd like to know about, but this is the action from the January board retreat. Board workshop, rather, not retreat.
Can you just name the courses that are getting that increase again?
Oh, sure.
Please.
In Certified Nursing Assistant, the NA 101 course, that's going to have the state exam has increased by $7. So with that, along with the cost of fingerprinting, we're asking for a $10 increase to that established NA 101 course. Within nursing, our ADN program, our RN program, the course fees are going to that we're asking for are for nursing 150. The current fee is $250. It will move to $300. That is the request. Nursing 160, the increase will be from $200 to $275. Nursing 250, the increase will be from $200 to $275. And nursing 260 will be from $200 to $275. And then within the LPN transition program, nursing 170 will have an increase of $100 from $200 to $300. And the reason for those increases is that the consumable supplies have risen since the last time that we asked for an increase across those 5 courses. I can give you examples, IVs, dressing supplies, catheters, as well as we also have upgraded our package to the ATI program, which is, it includes a pharmacology tutorial, and that is our prep for the NCLEX, and we're all aware of the high standards we've put in our nursing program, and NCLEX is, the ATI is helping prepare those students so we can maintain that threshold of far over 90% in terms of pass rate.
Just to clarify, we're breaking, this is just our costs. This is just costs.
Correct. Yes.
We're not making any money on this or anything like that.
No, this is so we can, it's a cost recovery request.
How much do you anticipate that we're asking? Like, give us a large number, one solid number. What are we going to gain from this on an annual basis?
In terms of the total, I can defer to Dr. Gray. I think it's right around, Dr. Gray, you had that figure. believe it's around $75,000 in terms of the additional cost.
I'm wondering if we can't get that from maybe another line item in the budget, because we just had, within the last 3 years, we've had 2 tuition increases, which are tuition increases. I get this is not a tuition increase, it's a fee increase, but they both come out of the same pockets, and it's the student's pocket. So I'm hopeful that maybe we can revisit this and look to see if we can do a line item. If it's 75,000, I mean, we get gifts from into the foundation from corporations. I think I saw here Exxon just gave us like $35,000, and we got a lot of other gifts. I'm wondering if we can maybe not work with the foundation on saving the students this additional burden.
Do you recall at the workshop, I know we had a detailed presentation at the workshop regarding the foundation, and I cannot recall.
Well, I mean, the foundation it would be, we would need to find those gifts, those donors in order to recover that cost. At present, these are for specific courses, the core courses of our ADN program, and we're asking for also in the nursing assistant, which is those costs, it's the $10 increase. And then additional courses that are new courses that would have fees attached to it that are in line with our existing courses that we assess fee and lab fee for. Nursing in particular, it is a profession that, there's just a lot of consumable supplies. And that would be a request of a donor for consumables. And that's unique.
I don't think we can ask Exxon to cover the nursing programs.
I just use them as an I use them as an example.
Well,
but
that
we get
means,
a lot of gifts from different.
That means we got to reach out to like hospitals and stuff like that. Maybe that's something the foundation can work on. I agree. So.
And if I can just Christy was unable to make the meeting this evening. However, I can say there's been an increase in scholarship funding for our nursing students to help provide, that financial support for their coursework holistically. So even, despite the increase in fees, again, just to cover the consumables, there are scholarships available. We also have emergency funds available for students. So, one of the missions that we continue to stress at the college is no student should come to Joliet Junior College and say they cannot afford their education. We've been very successful working with the foundation. They've identified scholarships to help part-time become full-time. Their goal is to award $1 million in scholarships over the next year and continue on that mission. And so between emergency funds, between additional scholarships specifically for that, but we have a vast multiple scholarships available. So even with the increase in the course fees, I do not believe that any student would have any problem financing their tuition and their education. The scholarships have been very supportive.
I think it's definitely something that Trustee Morales mentioned. It's definitely something that we can look into it. So even though with the scholarships, that is not going to be available to all the nursing students. So that's going to be a limited amount of scholarships that are available. If we're able to find a way to help make sure that the fees overall do not increase that much, then we need to look at other alternatives.
Right, and I respect that. And just to let you know too, I mean, this is the third year we're coming forward without a proposed increase in tuition. So we continue to keep the cost of the students, tuition and their time at Joliet Junior College as low as possible.
Dr. Mitchell, aren't you on the board at the hospital? Like, could we
For Silver Cross?
Yeah, could you ask them if they could maybe help with donating some of the supplies?
That's something I can approach them. They are very supportive of our students as far as for internships and clinicals and hiring our students.
We have a good partnership with them. I would definitely, if I was on the board, I would ask, but you are. So I'm asking you if you would be willing to do that.
That's something I can.
Thank you.
I can talk to Ruth Colby, yes.
Any other questions?
Thanks, Randy.
Thank you.
At this time, we'd like to take a moment of silence for the following individuals. Sandra Mary Rapp, sister of Dan O'Connell, Board of Trustees. Oh, boy. Anastasios D. Kapsamalis, father of Katrina Wynn, Technology Support Services. Christina M. Petroshak, mother of Christina Alvarez, Food Service. Wilson Stroud, JJC retiree, faculty, CIOS. Howard Magnus, grandfather of Heidi Muncie, Social and Behavior Sciences. And Mark Dames, husband of former trustee Sharon Dames. Thank you, everyone. Okay, at this time. Where's my cheat sheet? There it is. At this time, I need a motion to modify the agenda to move item 1.3.1 for consideration following closed section after item 9.8.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and second. Joan, call the roll, please.
Morales?
Yes.
O'Connell?
Yes.
Broderick?
Aye.
Garcia Guillen?
Yes.
Mahalik?
Yes.
Marin?
Yes.
And Wonderlich.
Yes. Moving on to item 1.4, selected reports. Proclamation designating March as Women's History Month.
Okay, I have the pleasure of inviting Allie Whitenhall as a member of student government to the podium. She's the Vice President of Disability Awareness Club and the Secretary of the Collegiate Club Council, and also a captain of the cheer dance team. She's studying nursing and plans to transfer to a university in the fall of 2021.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Whereas American women of every race, class, and ethnic background have made historic contributions to the growth and strength of our nation and community in countless recorded and unrecorded ways. And whereas American women have played and continue to play a critical economic, cultural, and social role in every sphere of the life of the nation and constitute a significant portion of the labor force inside and outside of the home. And whereas American women have played a unique role throughout the history of the nation by providing the majority of the volunteer labor force of the nation. And whereas American women were particularly important in the establishment of early charitable, philanthropic, and cultural institutions in our nation and community. And whereas American women have been leaders not only in securing their own rights of suffrage and equal opportunity, but also in the abolitionist movement, the emancipation movement, the industrial labor movement, the civil rights movement, and other social and political movements. And whereas American women deserve all the rights, privileges, and acknowledgments afforded all human beings in our society. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Trustees of Illinois Community College District Number 525, Joliet Junior College, counties of Will, Grundy, Kendall, LaSalle, Kankakee, Livingston, and Cook, in the state of Illinois, hereby recognize and salute the women of our nation and community and designate the month of March as Women's History Month in Illinois Community College District Number 525. Adopted this 19th day of February 2020.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and second. Joan, call the roll, please.
Mahalik?
Yes.
Marin?
Yes.
Morales?
Yes.
O'Connell?
Yes.
Broderick?
Yes.
Garcia Guillen?
Yes.
And Wonderlich.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item is Dr. Robert Marsink.
Good evening, everybody. First thing I want to do is thank our students for coming tonight, expressing themselves as they have. It's not easy to stand before power and speak to it, and so they deserve credit for that. And there's no way that I can be nearly as eloquent as they have in what they've had to say this evening. I can't put myself in their shoes. I'm a middle-aged white guy, right? So I don't know what it's like to feel what they're feeling, but it's real what they're feeling. That's all we really need to know, is it's real what they're feeling. I don't have all the information, nor do most of the people in this room. I don't have all the information that the administration has or the board has. I know what I read, and I know there have been denials. So I'm not going to address that part of it. But it's very important, and I agree with Trustee Morales on this, that we need to seize this as an opportunity to make sure that we're doing everything we can on campus to make everybody not only feel safe, but to feel as if they're being treated equally. There should be, and I'm not saying they're not being treated equally, but what I am saying is that there's a perception out there, and if people are walking the halls and they're fearful, that's something we can't tolerate. We just can't tolerate that as an institution. So I pledge to do whatever faculty can do to help make this process work going forward. We as faculty, I've had one of my faculty said to me last week in a meeting, said, well, you know, students should know that our offices are safe places. And our offices are safe places. They're places where students can come, they can speak to us, and they don't have to be concerned about that information going anywhere, and they can feel comfortable doing that. But they need to feel safe in the hallway too, and they need to feel safe in the parking lot. They need to feel safe all around this campus. And we have great, great students. I am pleased. I can't tell you how happy I am to work in a community college that is as diverse as ours. I know there are a lot of really good people in this room. I do not have all the information that some people had that went into this decision, okay? But I do know that there are good people in this room who can move forward and do the right thing. And I pledge faculty's attention to this. I pledge that we will do whatever we are asked to do or can do to make this a campus where, again, we all feel safe and equal. So I really have nothing else to say this evening. I don't think there's anything else that is as important as that. So I trust that we will move forward, we will do the right thing, that we will seize this as an opportunity to do the right thing for our students today and our students tomorrow and our students 10 years from now. So thank you again, as always, for the opportunity.
Dr. Marsink? Thank you, Dr. Marsink. Thank you for your words, and you're right. I'm happy to hear that you as faculty are offering students a safe place. This boardroom is definitely a safe place, and I know you alluded to this as power. It is, but at the same token, as elected officials, we work for you. You guys don't work for us. We're here for you. People seem to confuse power and that we're so high up there and that we are not accessible. We are accessible, and we are here to listen and to work together and to bring our campus back. So we are here for the students, for the taxpayers, for everybody. We are not above any reproach. We are here for you, so thank you for that.
Well, thank you for that. And again, I was talking about the perception of a student
Yes.
coming before a board, coming before administrators. That can be a daunting task.
It is, and you know what? It's even more daunting for faculty and staff because they won't do it, because they are fearful of retaliation. Faculty and staff will not come. They will stay away from a board member at all costs just because, and they'll deal with their issues privately and go to bed at night worried about what's going to happen tomorrow. And I don't want faculty or staff to ever have to work in a place and feel like that. I don't want this to be that place. There's a lot of places now that exist like that. I don't want JJC to be that place for any faculty or staff or administrator to feel that they have to come to work with their stomach in knots every day. Thank you.
Next item, 1.4.3, adjunct faculty. Laurel?
Good evening. And thanks for the opportunity. I want to start by echoing Dr. Marsink's comments and thanking the students who had the initiative to come here and speak tonight. I had the opportunity to attend the all employees meeting that Dr. Mitchell had at the beginning of the month in the theater. And I came away from that meeting impressed and appreciative of your candor, and very clear about her absolute commitment to making this a safe and welcoming place to study and to work. And I think that everybody in this room is trying to make that happen. I also had the opportunity to attend a meeting of the Diversity and Inclusion Council for the first time this month. Adjuncts had not been part of that group, but the group has been expanded to include a few other people, and we were one of those groups, and I really appreciate that opportunity. Adjuncts teach a lot of students here, and we impact a lot of students' lives. There are students that I talk to who have adjuncts for all of their classes, and that's not universally the case, but there's a lot of classes that are taught by adjuncts, and we have a big impact on student life and the environment on this campus. And so I think it's important that we be included in these kinds of things, and so I appreciate that opportunity. We too are absolutely committed to making this a safe place and making this a welcoming place for students, for faculty, for community members, for everybody involved. And so I think we're all kind of on the same page in trying to do that, and I appreciate the opportunity to be part of it. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Laurel? Next item, 1.5.1, approval of minutes for regular monthly meeting of January 15th.
Motion.
Second.
There's no additions or corrections. Joan, call the roll, please.
Morales?
Yes.
O'Connell?
Yes.
Roderick?
Yes.
Garcia Guillen?
Yes.
Mahalik?
Yes.
Marin?
Yes.
And Wonderlich.
Yes. 1.5.2, approval of minutes for special meeting January 29th.
Second.
Motion and a second. There's no additions or corrections. Joan, call the roll, please.
Roderick? Garcia Guillen?
Yes.
Mahalik?
Yes.
Marin?
Yes.
Morales?
Yes.
O'Connell?
Yes.
And Wonderlich.
Yes. Next item, 1.7, approval of the agenda.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
By approving the agenda, I know item 1.1.1 was a review of course fee recommendation, and that's on the agenda. So if we approve the agenda, are we approving the course fee now or just the review of it?
We are approving the agenda now, and on the consent agenda, if you want to pull that, you can pull that.
Okay, then I do want to pull it. Let me find it. Help me out if you can, please. What number is
But
it?
this is only for just the whole
Okay.
agenda.
Okay.
Just approve the consent.
Okay.
agenda, so- And then,
So, do we have need a motion and a second to approve the agenda?
Yes.
second.
Motion and a second. Joan, call the roll, please.
O'Connell?
Yes.
Roderick?
Aye.
Garcia Guillen?
Yes.
Mahalik?
Yes.
Marin?
Yes.
Morales?
Yes.
And Wonderlich.
Yes. Item 1.8, approval of the consent agenda.
Okay, for the consent agenda, I'd like to motion to pull item, hold on.
It's 4.5.
Is it 4.5?
4.5.
Need an approval.
Yeah, 4.5.
Yes, 4.5, but I had one other one. 2.1.1?
Well, do we have a motion?
Trustee Morales moved. We need a second.
We need a second. Okay, motion and a second. Okay, so 4.5, Alicia, and what else?
2.1.
2.1.1?
2.1.1. Okay.
I have two that I would like to pull as well. 4.2.1 and Yeah, 4.2.1 and 4.2.3.
Okay, anybody else? If not, Joan, would you call the roll, please?
Morales?
Yes.
O'Connell?
Yes.
Roderick? Garcia Guillen?
Yes.
Mahalik?
Yes.
Maren?
Yes.
And Wonderlich.
Yes. Okay, item number 2.1.1.
Yes, thank you. So on this item,
Need a motion and a second.
sorry, motion?
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Discussion.
Okay, so for this item, and the notification we received called for to change the percentage to 6%. Is that a hard 6% or is it up to 6%? Do we have any flexibility with that?
That's under the Equal Pay Act, that's a hard 6% based on the increase to the SERS.
So it has to be 6. It cannot be 1, 2, 3, 4.
No, not under the Equal Pay Act, no.
It has to be a 6% increase. And is it, I know it's legal because it passed Senate Bill 1975, whatever, but just because it's legislation, we have to honor that?
Well, under the Equal Pay Act, you do, because everybody has to be paid equally. So that was,
Everybody, okay. You mean,
Women?
yes, including women.
I didn't say that.
No, Dan did.
Right. So inconsistent with the board's contract with the president at the time, once that went through and that increase applied to everybody, it applies to the president as well as an employee. But because she's the only one that has a contract, you have to amend her contract. It doesn't happen automatically.
Correct. I just feel how in one board meeting, we are asking to somebody that's already very, 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 very highly and well-paid to give more money, and yet we're going to turn around and ask students to pay $75,000 in fees. I'm conflicted with that. So that was my question, and thank you for answering.
Trustee Morales, this is not more money. It's just President's contract before, when SERS was down at whatever it was. She was getting part of her salaries going someplace else. But now that it's up, it's coming out of the other place and it's going into the 6% for SERS. So it's not any more money.
So we're not paying additional funding?
You're not.
We're just rearranging the buckets,
Correct.
basically?
It's an equalizer. Once the SERS went up, you had another provision that accounted for it. So this is just the equalizer.
Not new money.
Okay, okay.
Take it from one place.
Thank you, and that's why I'm asking, because they throw so much legal jargon. If you're not a lawyer, you don't understand this, and I'm not a lawyer, so that's why I'm asking, so thank you.
So when we did our contract, that's what
Okay.
That's what we said we're going to do on this time.
Okay, thank you.
Joan, call the roll, please.
Morales?
Yes.
O'Connell?
Yes.
Roderick? Garcia Guillen?
Yes.
Mahalik?
Yes.
Maren?
Yes.
And Wonderlich.
Yes. Next item, 4.2.1, bid on epoxy flooring. Okay. We need a motion
Motion?
and a second. Discussion.
Yeah, so I did have a question regarding the 4.2.1. When did we last replace it? This one is for the flooring.
This is for the epoxy flooring.
Yeah.
I'm going to defer to Mr. Rob Gallick, and I'm not sure if you can answer, or Janice Reedus.
I can't give you a specific number of years. It was
Okay.
due for replacement. We wouldn't be replacing it if it wasn't necessary. A lot of times with these epoxy flooring, it's a safety issue, making sure there's no slip, trips, and falls, those kinds of things. If you would like an answer, I'd be happy to give it to you, but our Senior Director of Facility Services is out sick today. He would be able to answer it, and he's not in the room. And Rick Lyman is not in the room, is he? Is Rick in here?
He left.
Janice, do you know?
Floors are the original floors, so the original.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
You know what, when you look into that, could you find out like how often we have to do that? Because if it's $117,000 that we're asking to vote on, and if this has to be redone again in 5 years, 10 years, I just want to know, like, more or less how often will this expense come up?
Well, e-building labs, those are 30-plus years old, are they not? E-building? Yeah, so we're looking at decades and decades.
Look at another 30 years.
Okay.
30 years, yeah.
You know what, if it would be helpful going forward, we can include in the write-up when the last time was, so then you'd have that information in advance. Thank you.
We have a motion and a second. Joan, call the roll, please.
Mahalik?
Yes.
Marin?
Yes.
Morales?
No.
O'Connell?
Yes.
Broderick?
Aye.
Garcia Guillen?
Yes.
And Wonderlich.
Yes. Next item is 4.2.3.
Motion.
Motion and a second. Discussion?
Same question. When did we last replace it?
This is for our network equipment across all campuses, so it's typically on a 5 to 7 year replacement schedule based on what type of equipment is.
Okay.
So every year, we budget for a percentage of that network equipment to be replaced, and it's on a schedule of whether it's a 5-year use or a 6-year use or a 7-year use. Then we budget annually to replace some percentage of the equipment on a regular basis.
Okay.
Jim, so we did budget the almost $425,000 for this expense?
Yeah, we budget for equipment replacement, which is not just for switch and wireless, it's for a lot of technology equipment that we use across the college. So this piece is for network switches and wireless.
Okay.
So if we have to do this again, you're saying it'll be in 5 to 7 years?
We do it every year. We replace, so if you look out, all the equipment that we have is 100%, then we're going to replace about 20% of that on an annual basis every year.
And this reflects the 20%?
Correct.
That's a lot. Okay.
Well, if you look over the course of the last 10 years, we've done $300 million, rough numbers, of new buildings. It's a lot of technology that has gone into those new buildings, and it's now coming into where we're having to start to replace more equipment than we ever had before.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
It is in the budget.
Correct.
Any other discussion? Call the roll, please.
Garcia Guillen?
Yes.
Mahalik?
Yes.
Marin?
Yes.
Morales?
Yes.
Dan O'Connell?
Yes.
Broderick?
Aye.
And Wonderlich.
Yes. Next item is 4.5.
Yes.
Motion
Motion. Second.
and a second. Discussion.
Okay, so the 4.5 is the, to approve the course fees. I'd like to table that, to see if there's more we can do for, like, if we can secure, until the president maybe can check with Silver Cross Hospital and see if they're willing to partner with us on that. So I'd like to table it for the next meeting.
Would there be any problem with table it for another month?
It would be okay to table until March 11th.
We wouldn't be able to, the course fee wouldn't be, we wouldn't be able to do it for the fall of 20 because of our publications. It wouldn't, and we would have to get them all put into the system. And Jeff Heap might be able to speak to that in terms of loading up the new courses, the new course fees. We are on a timeline. Typically, this is when we approve.
Usually the system doesn't take too much. I don't know off the top of my head when fall registration opens. It's usually...
Right, that's the issue. Until,
That's the challenge.
That's the challenge, because you're not going to have the new fees. Right.
Okay.
But we can certainly go through the process and look for it for the next time.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll talk with Ruth Colby.
Thank you.
Don't call the roll, please.
Mahalik?
Yes.
Marin?
No.
Morales?
No.
O'Connell?
Yes.
Broderick? Garcia Guillen?
No.
And Wonderlich.
Yes. Next item, number 6, board comments, new to old business. If none,
On 8.1, a motion.
Second.
Motions to move to reconsider the vote for the J.D. Ross Extraordinary Service Award.
we have a second?
Yes, you do.
Don't call the roll, please.
O'Connell?
Yes.
Roderick? Garcia Guillen?
Yes.
Mahalik?
Yes.
Marin?
Yes.
Morales?
No.
And Wonderlich.
Yes. Next item, 8.2.
In 8.2, I move to reconsider the vote for candidate number 2 for the J.D. Ross Extraordinary Service Award.
Motion, second.
Don't call the roll, please.
O'Connell?
Yes.
Roderick? I'm sorry? Garcia Guillen?
Yes.
Mahalik?
Yes.
Marin?
Yes.
Morales?
No.
And Wonderlich.
Yes. Next item, 8.3.
In 8.3, I move to approve candidate 2 as the recipient of the J.C. Ross Extraordinary Service Award.
Second.
Second.
Motion is second. Joan, call the roll, please.
O'Connell?
Yes.
Roderick?
Aye.
Garcia Guillen?
Yes.
Mahalik?
Yes.
Marin?
Yes.
Morales?
No.
Wonderlich.
Yes. Next item, 8.4, second reading of the board policies is in our book. 8.5, approval and third reading of board policies, which was on the consent agenda. Moving on to item 9.1, representative from the JJC Foundation. Nancy?
I have no report at this time.
Thank you. Item 9.2, representative ICCTA, Ms. Broderick.
I'm asking that Joan read the reports, the 2 reports that I've given for ICCTA and for ACCT that I was present at. It's easier for her to read since the voice communication is a little bit difficult over the phone tonight.
Fine.
Okay, the first report I'll be reading is the ICCTA report. The ICCTA Board of Reps met on February 10th, 2020, while we were at the National Legislative Summit meeting for community colleges in Washington, D.C. We reviewed the new state laws affecting higher education, including the Illinois Mental Healthy Early Action on Campus Act. The ICCTA is working with the NAMI, which is the National Alliance on Mental Illness, Chicago, on securing state funding for this new mandate. We were updated on the Illinois General Assembly's upcoming spring 2020 session. Conversations still continue on the community college baccalaureate degrees, especially in the area of early childhood education. We discussed the possibility of pursuing legislation to allow the issuance of a specialty plate decal to promote community colleges. The proceeds would be used to support ICCTA projects, such as trustee training or diversity initiatives. We debated on a proposal to modify mandated trustee training requirements to include equity and student success. The ICCTA 2020 Lobby Day is on April 29th in Springfield, and all are welcome to attend. We were updated on the community college's 2020 federal legislative priorities that we were talking to all of our federal legislators on at our DC Summit meeting. The ICCTA group meeting with the U.S. Senators Richard Durbin and Tammy Duckworth were on our schedule to meet on February 11th at the Legislative Summit. Member Clicks was selected from 4 potential vendors to undertake the overhaul of the association's website and database management system. The next ICCTA meeting will be March 13th and 14th in Bloomington. The featured topic from our experts will be on campus security at all of our campuses, and all are welcome to attend. We received updates on activities of the Illinois Community College Board, the Illinois Council of Community College Presidents, and the Association of Community College Trustees. Dates of importance are March 17th, which is the general primary election, March 27th, which is the nomination deadline for ICCTA's Business Relationship Awards, Scholarship Awards, and Outstanding Adjunct Faculty Award, to name a few. April 29th for ICCTA Lobby Day. The next one is the ACCT report. February 8th through February 12th, the ACCT held the Community College National Legislative Summit in Washington, D.C. In attendance from JJC were Dr. Mitchell, Kelly Roeder-Tonelli, Shalma Marin, and myself, meaning Trustee Broderick. The speaker for the opening session of the summit was John Polish, Assistant Secretary of Employment and Training for the U.S. Department of Labor. His presentation on the need for quality education and maintaining a low cost for the first 2 years was extremely enthusiastic and enriching for the Department of Labor to be so supportive of education for our students. He did a great comparison of being homeless to having a job. Without a job, you can't have a home, and in order to have a home, you need to have a job, and you need affordable education to assist the students in obtaining their needed education to obtain a job, and community colleges are there to do that for every student. The next session that followed was overall topics that we were to be talking with our legislators about, which was identified as Community College Priority Session. Topics reviewed and discussed were the following: short-term Pell Grants, increase the Pell Grant Maximum Award, second chance Pell Grants, support state investments in lowering the cost of community colleges, enhance transparency and data, support student access and success, strengthen under-resourced institutions, bolster job training, and career and technical education support dreamers. We met with the following legislators and entities to discuss JJC's higher educational needs, along with the support for all of our community colleges. Michelle Mills, Congressman Adam Kinzinger, Congressman Bill Foster, Senator Tammy Duckworth, Senator Richard Durbin, Congresswoman Lauren Underwood. We talked with all of them about the following: new university partnership centers at our Romeoville Center, Department of Education Title III Grant Pathways Project, Department of Education Perkins Support Career Guide, new programs to support labor market demand. All of our JJC students are required to take the state licensure exams in nursing and other allied health programs, and they are consistently ranking in the 90th percentile, while the average is 70th percentile. Okay, kudos to all of our teachers and administrators for keeping a keen eye on these areas for greater success of our students. The legislators that we met with were very appreciative of the folders that we presented to them with our current marketing booklet and our impact on federal education dollars, Pell Grant summary, and other federal programs that JJC students receive. Seeing all of those dollars being used to help students achieve made each legislator feel the need to continue the support of higher education. The Pell Grant definition of a student will be looked at and reviewed to be changed from a 4-year university student to a student working on their internship or apprenticeship who attends a community college, which will enable the Pell Grant program lower threshold for Pell Grant eligibility for 150 clock hours, enabling more individuals to access training programs for jobs in high-demand fields which may not require an associate degree. The National Legislative Summit is a great occurrence for us to collectively meet with our fellow community colleges throughout all of the states and to meet with all of the legislators to keep higher education on the top of their priorities. I'm sure that Dr. Mitchell and Shalma will be also sharing information from our capacities as the president and student trustee of JJC, being at the National Legislative Conference.
Thanks, Joan. And Kelly Roeder, I want to give you credit too for the brochures that you put in our pamphlets that we distributed to each of our legislators. The marketing information for both the students and the parents is unbelievably well taken, well distributed, with great ideas for parents to understand, students to understand the need for a community college education. So thank you, Kelly Roeder-Tonelli.
Thank you.
And Dr. Mitchell and Shalma, I'm sure that you two will have some information of your visit too, but I thought to be inclusive to add and make sure all of you are aware of what we did go through in our great time spent in Washington, D.C. and talking about the need for higher education to continue. Thank you, Robert.
Thank you. Next item, 9.3, Shalma.
So I had originally the standard student trustee presentation. And the more I thought it over, when I was doing the presentation and when I was there and I was putting in these dates and all these dates. So I had Main Street, I had the LU bake sale, I had when we went to Washington, which should have been something that I'm going to be here talking about with you guys for hours. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm putting this down because at every single one of those instances at Main Street, I should have been recruiting. I had people coming up to me saying, I want to talk. And this was the first time as a student trustee that I was like, and I'm going to be frank, I'm going to be like, what the hell? Like, what did I do? No, someone came up to me and said, I have concern. And everyone knows the concern. I'm aware. I'm sure everyone does at this point. And that meant a lot to me. This was the first time in my position that I was validated, that someone actually came up to me. And then at the LU bake sale, and I was there, it was amazing. And then just all these stuff, it was always in my mind, I was just there. And no one really knows how hard this position is until you're in it. I am a board member, I sit right there. I get to sit in executive session. I get to hear things that this side doesn't get to hear. But I'm also a student. So it affects me. So it affects me just like my student right here, my student right here, my students all here in the back. We're students. It affects us, and it affects me. And when one of my students is hurting, I'm hurting, and I'm a student. So one of my peers, I shouldn't even be saying one of my students, one of my peers, and I believe I was chosen for this position to speak for them and to speak with them. So I don't want to beat a dead horse. I don't want to be here. But for me to sit silent and go through a little PowerPoint, I would be discrediting myself and I would be disrespecting my peers. So I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna say what I gotta say, verbatim. You know, my peers said it all, but I'm gonna just say it one more time as a student trustee who gets to sit on that board, who has every bit of power. Not power, but who has every bit of authority and just the right to speak and the right to have an opinion. I hate the thing that I have an advisory vote. I wish it wasn't like that, because sometimes I wish I was taken more seriously. So this is my call to the board, to administration. I want to be taken more seriously, specifically for this issue. I know I'm there. I know how hard it is. I know there's legal stuff and all that. And I'm not going to argue about that. We can talk about that at a later time. And Dr. Mitchell, you were there, and Kelly, you were there when we were walking through the Martin Luther King Memorial. And I sat there and I stood at his feet and I prayed. I was like, give me the strength to find out what to do, because I'm being pulled this way, and I can't even tell peers basic information. Like, I had to be like, oh, and then stop. And then it was hard. And I asked for strength. Like, I'm coming from a place of weakness, but I'm also coming from a place of strength, because as I was there, I grabbed the strength. Sometimes doing what's right is not legal, or it's not what's in the books. And I wish it wasn't that way, but JJC, I've talked great things about JJC almost all my term. And this is what can make or break us. We're in a time where there's major distrust in police force, especially if you're a person of color. There's major distrust. And then anyone who lives in Will County, add that a little bit more. Add that a little bit more. Someone of color, someone a little bit darker than me, someone a little bit darker than most of the board, walking down the street, gets stopped, gets frisked, gets profiled all the time. And you come to school and you think that that's not gonna happen because it's school, you're here to learn. Police are here to protect you in case, we hear all the time, an intruder. Well, when there's an intruder of our values on campus, that's a problem. That hurts just as much as getting stopped on the street, because you don't want to get stopped here. And I'm not gonna argue about what was said, he said, she said, all of that. It's just If they were validated, they're validated, and we have to do something about it. So I'm sorry to keep beating a dead horse, but I'm gonna drive this point home. I'm gonna keep fighting for it. I told Dr. Farmer at a meeting, I can sit up here at this big table every month, but my spot is downstairs with students, with faculty, where we are on the front lines basically of everything. So that's all I have to say. I hope we make the right choice on this. This can make or break our college. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shalma. Next item, Buildings and Grounds. Jake and Dan.
Okay. We had a Buildings and Grounds meeting tonight, and I'm just going to hit the highlights. So the first thing I want to tell you about is the City Center campus. That's been approved by the Joliet board to vacate Webster Street, so that we're going to have Webster Street, and that's going to be part of City Center. That's good. So that's going to be done. The next thing is well, we're in the running. We're not in the running. We're going to get a cellular tower from Verizon, and they're working on that. They have some issues to deal with ComEd, and they have to get a building permit. I imagine they have to get some kind of make a deal with the airport, so I don't know how high the tower is, but the documentation's been approved and received, so all that is in place, and but we still don't know whether we're going to get it this year or next year. We'll make money from that, so I don't know when that's going to start. I can't tell you how much that's going to be, but just that it's coming. The other thing that's coming is we're going to have solar panels, that 7 acres of solar panels. They've delivered, the company has delivered about half of those panels, and we don't want them sitting around too long, so we have our people on getting on these guys to get this thing done and get it put in, because we don't want anything to happen to the panels before we even get them installed. And we'll make some money with that. We have approved for Workday for a respiratory therapy program. Workday is where we choose the contractors who are going to build these facilities. Respiratory therapy program. Our partners are going to be Eckhoff Sanders. They're from Chicago. They also have sub-consultants, about 5 of them. Some of them are local within our district. We have the city center site work that has to be done, and our partners with that will be Hamilton Consulting Engineers from Joliet, Illinois, with their subcontractor, landscape architect. The campus police facility renovation. That's going to be done by Legate Architects, along with 5 of their subcontractors. We've done business with Legate before. They've built a couple other buildings on campus and did a good job for us. The other is the bridge connecting the J&T buildings. Legate Architects will be doing that with several, 5 more of those subcontractors, the same ones from the campus police renovation. The other thing is, Well, workday, we covered that. Solar panels, we covered that. Anything else, Jake, I should mention? If not, that's good for me. Thank you.
I have a question on that.
On what?
Since Ligatz is going to be doing the construction and the bridge and so forth, and they're using 5 subcontractors, do you know if they open that up to minority business owners to have an opportunity to work?
Yes.
Yes, you know, or yes, they do?
Yes, they do.
Can I clarify just something? So Leggett Architects is the architect and engineering firm for one of the 3 selected for the construction projects. They will design the facilities. We will then go out to bid for the construction to actually build each of these facilities out. When we go out for the contractors, then that's where, in Janice, even with the QBS process, when we go out for the bid process, we will notify BEP vendors. We've been advertising in diversity fairs. We will look for that and encourage.
So we're still managing the 5 subcontractors, right?
These are just these are just the AE firms. These are just the people who are going to design. So they have subcontractors that work within that that work with them to design each of the facilities. However, then, once we have those designs, then we'll come back to the board with those designs for approval. Then we go out to bid for construction. And that's where we can open up even further to look for the diversity in our bidders.
And I'm just hoping that it's a priority for them too, within their own architects to extend that, to give everybody an equal opportunity to work.
And that's something that I believe, and I can't speak, I can talk to Janice, but that's something that is looked at with each of the vendors as well, correct? If you can stand up, Janice, I can't read your lips.
As part of the qualifications-based selection process, we asked all of the architectural engineering firms to come to us, and as part of that process, we said, please make sure that you reach out to any BEP vendors.
Thank you.
Okay. So they came back in their response, and in all of their responses, for the majority of them, and for the ones that we selected, and it's in your board write-up, they've indicated who will be on their project team. So there are a number of MBE, WBE, Hamilton Engineering actually is a WBE vendor. So that information is in the board.
Thank you, Jen. And I had one other question. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Oh, you said we're going to make some money on the panels?
Yes, they're being donated to us.
Right.
So
So when we start generating extra money from that, can we use that to pay for the fees?
It actually reduces the...
Sorry, I'm just trying to find money for any fees.
But it will reduce the overall expenses for the college over the course of time.
I want those focused specifically for those.
I have with 2 asterisks of what I...
Okay, thank you. Thank you, okay.
Next item is President's report.
Shalma, just like you, I'm setting aside my report. I think Trustee Broderick's report was very extensive tonight with our visit in Washington. And again, it's always our focus on students and how we can reduce those funds, increase funds for Pell Grant, MAP money, and those types of things. But tonight, I just truly want to thank our students for coming forward. I have been transparent as much as I can as the president. I mean, obviously, you all know that there are certain things that I can't share. That's my role. However, I have been transparent. I have been visiting through SGA, Collegiate Club Council. I've met with KLAC. I've met with individuals on their own. And as you all know that my door is always open. You are welcome to email me, stop in my office. I commend you for your bravery, for coming forward. I know that you were very nervous. And I appreciate and I value everything that you do, everything that you bring to this institution. You are my priority. I continue to tell my students, the faculty, the staff, that I ensure your safety. There is never a question of your safety, that I work to support you. That's my job, is to make that your education, and I'm looking for the students that are left, just successful to the best of my ability. When I was appointed president, it was one of my first challenges is to resurrect the Diversity and Inclusion Council, and we have made significant strides in that area. We have a new plan. We have initiatives going forward. I have initiatives coming to the board at the March meeting to help move the needle and help with the cultural sensitivity of this campus. So I can assure you that as your president, I will continue to do to the best of my ability, ensure your safety, ensure student success, and know that I'm always here for you. And I thank you for your representation this evening.
Next item, Chairman's report. I'd just like to say thank you to everybody who came and spoke tonight. As I said before, this board takes every comment very seriously. As it was noted before, yes, I have been here a long time. And as I said in the last board meeting, if some of my comments by the Herald News reporter were taken out of context and it hurt anybody, I am deeply apologetic for that. It's not what I wanted to, not how I wanted to come out. And this college has been my first priority since I've been here for 43 years, and it still is my first priority. And the students and the faculty and everyone else. And thank you. Now we will go, could I have a motion to go in executive session for 2C3 and 2C5?
Can we add 2C1, please?
Pardon?
Can we add 2C1 to that?
2C1 is?
Personnel. I don't have them.
2C1's personnel.
Personnel? Can we add that? Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And 2C1. Motion to go into executive session.
Motion.
Second.
Second. John, call the roll, please.
Morales?
Yes.
O'Connell?
Yes.
Broderick?
Aye.
Garcia Guillen?
Yes.
Mahalik?
Yes.
Marin?
Yes.
And Wunderlich.
Yes. Can I have a motion to go back in a regular session?
Motion.
Second.
Motion second. Joan, call the roll, please.
Morales?
Yes.
O'Connell?
Yes.
Broderick?
Present.
Garcia?
Yes.
Mahalik?
Yes.
Marin?
Yes.
And Wunderlich.
Yes. Next item is item 1.3.1.
I'd like to make a motion for Mike Hennessy for the appointment of the school board position that's open.
I thought we have to take a vote on it, first of all.
Well, you have
I'm making
I apologize, trustee.
gotta-
Somebody
have to
makes a
make-
motion for their candidate, and if that motion gets a second, then you go down the road and you vote. So,
Second.
Okay, Joan, call the roll, please.
We're taking a roll for Michael Hennessy. Broderick?
Aye.
Garcia Guillen?
No.
Mahalik?
Can I make a statement first on this one? Or is this just a strict vote?
yeah, you can make a statement.
I want to say we did have a lot of great candidates. We'd be lucky to have all of them. I think, I personally think that Mike Hennessy would be the greatest one and the best one for the position. So I'm going to say yes.
Marin?
Abstain.
Morales?
We had a lot of great candidates. Some wear many hats throughout the community, and I think he does wear a lot of hats and he does a lot of good for the community. But at this time, for this particular role and the state of our college, I will say no.
O'Connell?
I voted for Betty Washington in there. I'm sorry, I voted no.
Wunderlich.
No.
That motion does not pass. Is there another motion?
I'd like to make a motion to appoint Betty Washington.
Second.
Joan, call the roll, please.
Morales?
Yes.
O'Connell?
Yes.
Broderick?
Pass.
Pass.
Yes.
Garcia Guillen?
Yes.
Mahalik?
Pass.
Marin?
Abstain.
Broderick?
Pass.
You asked her already, she passed.
Yeah, but don't you have to go back and get A or run through the roll call?
Oh, you didn't ask the chairman. You gotta go through everybody.
Chairman? Wunderlich?
Or,
Betty Washington?
yes.
Broderick?
Where's the vote at right now?
We have 4 ayes for Betty Washington, 1 abstain.
One pass. I pass.
And, right.
Did you pass to think about it? Or?
Student trustee Marin.
I passed them.
Mahalik?
Yes.
Roderick?
Abstain.
Passes.
Yep.
The tally is, Ms. Tierney?
5 ayes, 2 abstains.
Okay. We will seat the candidate at our next meeting. Right?
You'll seat the candidate at the March.
At the March 11 meeting.
And that'll be okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you only have to appoint under the statute.
Oh,
The seating and the, and we verified this with ICCB.
Okay,
The
perfect.
seating and the swearing in is ceremonial in nature. It's not required under the statute. You have to make the appointment within the 60 days.
Sounds good.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.
Mm-hmm.